obstructing
Hey,
what's
I'm sorry about
beyond.
that, guys. The PC shut down. It pushed. The PC just did a hard reset. Unfortunately, so I just started the stream live again. You guys are on YouTube being heard right now.
Thank you.
Cool.
All right. Well, that's all I had to say. As you were, people, go ahead and beat up on Lemon some more.
Well, Moyak, man, there would be some sort of obstruction of Earth in the way. If you don't define it as a hump of Earth curvature, I'd like to know how you describe it.
It does get to be a fun thing to describe things like that. I don't. I would just say that it's the Earth in your way. I wouldn't say a hump of Earth. It's when you look at a
Earth
sphere,
in the way
and
that
goes further down the
syllables.
sphere, it gets in the way.
Earth in the way is 3 syllables. Hump is 1.
Why do
Right.
you think all the top
Facilitates
globers have
discussion a
dropped
bit
this? Because they realise that there's got to be a hump in the way, which means water has to go up to cause a
And
hump.
that's we don't say it, Lemon. That's why
And
we
this
resist
is
that
where
word.
your model completely collapses.
Well done, Brian.
we need to be
It doesn't collapse.
Completely missing the
specific.
point.
A drop has to turn into a hump.
It would turn into a hump relative to the chord. That's why we have to be hyper specific. Otherwise, the Globers will play frustrating semantic games with us, and the discussion will go nowhere.
Oh, excuse me. You're the guys playing the semantic games, and you insist on using terms like hump to describe something incorrectly, as Brian has just proven. It has to
I am
go
very
up.
explicit by what I mean by the
Nobody
hump, yet you still
says it goes
reject
up.
the definition on very
Because-
specious grounds.
No, not specious grounds. Again, Brian just proved the point, Lemon. Open your ears. This is why we have to go into this detail, because people like Brian are too thick to actually discuss it maturely
What
in a
fucking
logical
The moment
fashion.
you have a chord, Ali, you're gonna have a hump. So you need to define
Yes,
what the hump is relative to the chord. Yes, you would have
yes,
a hump.
Lemon. The way you're describing it makes sense, and we all understand it, except for Brian, who just said that the water has to rise up.
It would
And that's
rise
what
up
most
relative
flat
to that
earthers
chord
say.
You
as
bastard
well.
idiot! How can you have a hump without it rising up from your elevation?
You see what I
fucking
mean,
idiot.
Lemon? He's saying it's got to rise up. He's not talking about relative to a chord.
Well, on your ball, somehow this water falls, but I mean, how do you define how the water falls if you have a uniform surface? If you have a uniform globular surface, where is the descent? And if it's descending in one sense, like the Nile, descending 1 foot in elevation versus, kind of rising over the chord of the hump, it's kind of contradictory. I mean, how do you
Well, it's not
describe the
contradictory.
gravitational potential? Is it relative to the chord? Is it relative to the idealized perfection of the sphere? What is it relative to? This is very, very fishy.
Just
It's not
stating there's a
you
contradiction when there
understand.
isn't one. Not a good argument. Sorry, StingRay, on you go.
No, Lemon, if you go back to a few shows ago, and I mean, Brian actually did it. He demonstrated buoyancy live in his view, which requires gravity. So gravity is the reason. Just go ask Brian.
Don't talk like a fucking cunt. No, I did not.
Well, I
Gravity
can see gravity
fucking
working on a flat surface. I mean, in that you have a plane that gives you absolute elevation with no curvature needing to be factored in, and things just go from high to low over a flat surface, giving you flat ocean basins, flat seafloor, flat Earth.
How would gravity work on a flat
But I don't
plane?
think
What is it
anybody's
pull-
really saying that the
The
Earth is
main
flat.
difference, sir, would be that gravity doesn't pull to the center of a ball. We don't need gravity to do that anymore, to keep us on the underside of a ball without falling off, or to curve the Earth. We don't need it for that.
But the only thing you're
When
changing
did
is
we
the
stop
shape.
needing
Sorry, Blue, on you go.
I just want to know when we stop needing it.
Well, it seems
I
like
still need gravity.
Well, it just feels like Big Blue, we cobbled it together as an excuse for the ball as to why we don't fall off of it at all, or don't go spinning off into the black reaches of nihilist black Greek pagan ball space.
I can measure it.
Well,
I can see it happen.
They pull out a stopwatch and they try to rationally explain what they see going on. Maybe there's better explanations as opposed to this gravity thing, maybe like electromagnetism or something else over a flat plane.
Well, I got some lead balls, some little bitty ones, and some really, really big ones. You'd like those. And those really big balls attracted the little bitty ones. I could measure the force.
On Earth. They moved them against the gravity of fucking Earth, you idiot.
So he's talking about using something that's not
Brian. Yeah, Brian. Excuse me. I need to address this. Do not call me a fucking idiot ever again, Brian.
Yes, I am. Your own fucking rhetoric says there's 4,000 miles pulling on that fucking ball, yet your little balls pulled them away from it. Fucking ridiculous.
Look,
well, if you understood it, it would not be so ridiculous, Brian. The experiment is designed to eliminate the Earth's gravity. You don't know anything about a torsion balance, obviously.
It's still under your ludicrous assumption of fucking gravity. And you think you put a fucking bowling ball size there, and it's going to pull it against and away from the pull of a 4,000 mile fucking radius? Ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous.
You've got a very unique ability not to be able to understand fuck all. Do you know that, Brian?
And you want to stop and fucking think. You're a pilot. You know there's no fucking curvature, you thick cunt.
I know there is curvature too. Don't start that shit with me.
Ever.
I've seen the curvature, Brian.
Oh, good Lord, Brian.
You are fucking lying.
Measured the curvature of the Earth.
Everybody else, if you say
I've measured the radius and the circumference of it.
No, you have never fucking measured anything.
The density of the Earth. I have measured the gravitational constant. And I can tell you what the acceleration of gravity should be based on my measurements.
Load of bollocks.
Can you show a measurement from Coriolis while you're flying?
Right. Well, the Coriolis effect is applicable in different.
Planes automatically
Coriolis correction.
The curvature when they hit thinner fucking air.
I would go with Coriolis with a different explanation, gentlemen. I would say that the Earth is motionless, flat, and at rest. And any Coriolis thing that we're talking about, Coriolis thing or whatever, is simply the swirl of space, which is more accurately known as a substance known as the ether that moves, has a very gentle tug on objects as it passes around and through them, giving us Coriolis effects like water swirling around a drain with the tightest swirl toward the northern center where it appears to be swirling around, and looser swirl toward the outer southern latitude.
Yeah,
it's Coriolis, not Coriolis. If you're going to talk about it, at least pronounce it correctly, please.
Apologies.
Not Coriolis. Coriolis.
And another thing, Lemon.
I thought that was the adjective form.
No. Lemon, in your explanation, Lemon, the swirling, you do know that it is the effect of it is measured where we would feel swirl in a oddly upward direction. How is it swirling from the ground upward?
Swirling from the ground up?
Are you serious?
That is fascinating. I didn't know that. I thought it was swirling downward.
No. Well, it depends which way. If by swirling in a direction means applying a force in that direction, it's swirling upwards.
Well, I tend to think of this stuff in an organic way as possible. Like I'm thinking of my drink that I swirl around with the spoon for the swirl of the ether over the flat, motionless Earth. And something like that. And you can get worlds and counter worlds from Coriolis that are very similar to that, couldn't you?
Yeah, but the issue, Lemon, is the force applied counteracting dropity through the spin of the Earth is outward at the equator. And you can do this is accounted for in production and in precious metal weighing. So your magic ethery stuff would have to flow from the ground upwards more at the equator than it does at the poles.
I would explain that with a looser swirl. You get a tighter swirl as water swirls around the drain toward the center with the most whirlpool rush and spin, but a more calm whirlpool swim at the outer part of that swirl. So that's the way that I would explain it. This substance of space, the electromagnetic ether, is swirling tightly toward the north, loose toward the outer southern latitudes.
There is no lemoniferous ether. Any experiment trying to find it has not found it. And all the way back to Michelson Morley, it's almost 150 years old now. We've looked for it with better and better equipment, and we have not found it.
Space can't be nothing. It has to be a substance.
No, space can be nothing.
No, it can't. The Epicurean vacuum nothing has been superseded and replaced by space being full of fields anyway. They basically give a wink and a nod and a nudge.
There's nothing material there. Nothing material is there.
I think it's the potential for something to become material.
Then find it. Then give the experiment for a fucking change.
You can accumulate enough if you filter in enough ether to see an appreciable effect that you otherwise would have ignored or not seen earlier. You just got to filter it in.
Lemon, you understand ether was a construct like space-time. The only difference between ether and space-time is space-time's actually been verified. It was an artificial construct to try and explain something. You don't get that, do you?
Well, people make these concepts to guide experiments. I mean, as far as I can tell, you don't get a cup of space-time. So if you don't get a cup of space-time in a cup where you can see its shape or whatever, why not the ether? What's the problem with just going back to the organic concept?
And they ruled it out. Space-time's been verified. Ether has been ruled out. End of sentence.
Well, the way that they verified the space-time, as far as I saw, Doctor, was they expected to see light deviate around a star during an eclipse or something. And they said, oh, space-time. Well, I look at that and I'm like, oh, well, ether's flowing and refracting the light around the object up there, or either that or the waters above. I mean, there's other interpretations.
You understand it wasn't just, oh, we expect it to bend around an eclipse. It was, we expect it to bend around an eclipse at this exact amount. And guess what? That's what happened. That exact amount. It wasn't random.
So because it matches our math, we can go with this conception? I don't know.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely.
What math do you have? I can't pronounce your name. Thesis?
Lemon. Let's just say lemon.
I don't do math. I do organic concepts that help guide the brain toward
He doesn't do anything
math like that.
He doesn't do anything real.
I'm not a mathematical positivist, and I don't demand that math matches reality or reality matches the numbers. I don't demand that. Not unless you're dealing with a discrete quantity like 12 apples that you count out for 12 apples at the beginning and the end of the counting process with discrete apples. Not all of reality is discrete quanta. Reality is a continuum. Therefore, math cannot properly catalog all of it.
Math is a language.
The same thing as 12 apples, in your opinion? Is 12 arc seconds just as valid as 12 apples?
No, you can cram a lot into visual space. Up close in the same amount of, say, 10-foot visual space, Doctor, I can fit two objects next to each other. Those objects are taken away from me, and that same amount of visual space that up close fit two can now fit 100 objects. So visual space doesn't appear to be discrete either. A lot of stuff is crammed into there. Infinite amounts of stuff are crammed in there. So
you're basically just describing peekaboo then. You're basically describing peekaboo.
Since our vision is not discrete, gentlemen, it's going to defy mathematical expectation as well, unless you have a discrete quanta.
For fuck's sake, Lemon, optics
at the beginning and the end of the accounting process.
For fuck's sake, Lemon, optics is nothing but math. Optics is pure math. For fuck's sake, you talk about optics and you don't understand math. You're an idiot, Lemon.
It's not
I'm
pure
sorry.
math. That's bull.
In the
Jesus
visual space
Christ,
that you're
Lemon.
looking through, a bacterium that is
You wear
beyond
glasses.
the angular resolution of the eye. You can't even see it to count it out, but it's there. That's where the math falls apart. So this stuff is merging, converging, and disappearing visually with arc seconds or whatever, defying mathematical expectation.
Lemon, do you wear glasses?
Do you believe?
No, it is not.
Do you believe in earthquakes?
Really, what's the
whatever your name is?
I
Lemon.
believe in earthquakes, yeah.
Please tell us.
I believe in earthquakes.
You believe in earthquakes. How does it work on a flat Earth? And why does the flat Earth not fall apart?
Well, I mean, you can still have the land shifting on a flat surface. I mean, you guys say it shifts over a ball. It would just shift over a flat surface. There you go.
No, that doesn't answer anything. You're just talking nonsense. Like, how does that work on a flat Earth?
You would accept that definition just fine if the globe was attached.
No.
That is when it's attached to the flat Earth.
No. How does it work on a flat Earth?
There are different explanations, even in the globe paradigm, for what, if anything.
No. You will not talk over me. No, you will not talk over me. No. You will not talk over me on this. You explain how tectonic plates work on a flat Earth and why they do not cause the flat Earth to fall apart.
You could ask that same question for the globe.
No.
I mean, why don't you hold a mirror up to yourself and ask yourself the same question, and you'll see how ridiculous it is. Why does the Earth fall apart when it's a ball?
No. You explain it, how it works on a flat Earth. You explain it right now.
It would just be shifting land. There are other people that talk about electrical earthquakes that occur. It could be an electrical discharge over the flat Earth due to an eruption.
Oh my God.
That you are not exploring with your myopic globe focus.
You understand when he panics, he talks, right?
Yeah, and you understand, Grubus.
To make him panic, he'll just talk until he's
more panic. And the more panic he gets,
for the past 31 days, I've been asking these.
You don't have curvature. You do not have spin. Do not live on what you've been implanted into your heads.
For the past 31 days,
Brian, I've measured it.
I don't know where you live.
Brian, I've measured it.
I live exactly where they tell me.
You have not measured it. It's unmeasurable. If
Didn't you and Blue do it?
Show me your
I've measured it.
Didn't you and Blue do it together, Dr. Bob?
I'm sorry. What?
Didn't you and Blue do it together?
Your measurements.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Come on, then, show
Brian,
us
you
your
can just watch this video. Just watch the video.
My son and Blue and I, we all got together at and did a little science and had a nice chat. Very nice, very pleasant.
Doesn't prove anything, does it?
Yeah, it does. It proves the Earth is round.
And rotates.
Doesn't prove anything.
We demonstrated the Earth is rotating and spherical. Yes.
Come on, then.
The only thing that's rotating is the ether over the flat, motionless Earth. The ether that is brutally
suppressed. Ether, Lemon. Stay with real science, please.
Real science is with the ether, Dr. Bob. It's been brutally suppressed because it has too much free energy and too much potential.
No, it's bullshit, Lemon. You can't prove it. All the way back to Michelson Morley.
Your measurements.
There's a video right on my channel for it. Go have a look and learn something.
Bring your documentation here now. Prove.
I'll take the measurements from the ether, please.
And Brian, when he explains it to you, what are you going to do with that?
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not going to bring it, Brian. You can go to my channel and watch it.
You haven't got any fucking measurements.
Brian, what are you going to do with that information when you get it?
The rest of them.
He's going to ignore it. He's going to hand wave it.
We live on a
he's going to ignore it and hand wave it. And his demand to make me go get it is just a delay tactic. If you want to see it, go fucking look at it.
You offered it as a fucking evidence. Now fucking bring it, you cunt.
I've got it right now. It's right on my channel. Go look.
Bring it then. Bring it here now.
So you can ignore it?
Measurements of curvature.
Brian, what are you going to do with it?
Brian, go get it.
I'm going to inspect it. And if it's real, I'll be back on the fucking globe tomorrow. If it's
no, you won't.
You don't understand the math. You don't understand the math. How would you refute it?
Fucking bullshit. I'll
Brian,
stick
you
it
don't
up his
understand the math.
All I got to do is show you one picture, Brian. That
I want to see pictures. I want to see physical fucking measurements of this curvature. Now.
That's on my channel too, with the auto level.
Now, Bob, fetch the cunt now.
Watch your mouth with me, Brian.
You're lying to
Brian, what are you going to do with it?
I'm not frightened of you.
Brian.
You're a fucking
Here it
nobody.
is, Brian.
You're a deceiver. A
Look
liar.
at it, Brian.
Brian, can you
Go on
bring the
mute,
evidence that
watch
you were
my
going to bring
video.
earlier about? Can you bring the evidence that you were going to bring earlier about the measurements for the that airport over there?
Wasn't the same airport, was it? He gave me the wrong airport.
No, it wasn't. So you're asking for evidence, but you can't present any.
Can't present any because I was given the wrong fucking wrong airport.
But you didn't research it for yourself?
I asked what airport it was.
Well, we know what airport
told
it is
or
now.
suggested or pointed at that it was the Nice airport. So I done work on that. It wasn't that.
Okay.
Well,
What
so
of anything.
So you worked on a problem that was wrong.
You can clearly see the airplane going into the water. Like how much
No, you
more
cannot.
evidence?
That is another layer that they've laid over the top.
What layer?
So they faked it?
Water
So
cannot
how-
form a curve
And how did they?
maintain that curve.
Brian,
It is
how did
Brian,
you determine that?
Brian, you originally thought it was the Mauritius airport.
That's the one that Naps told me it was.
I mean,
So
I
I
found
think
it in
if you
Google Earth.
present evidence, you should back up your evidence with all the
So,
details.
you're basically saying you will not look into anything.
Presenting a fucking
You will-
video of a plane
you will
going
not-
on the fucking water.
You are
Then
saying
they
you will
look
not
at
look into
proof of
anything,
the
Len.
curvature. Prove it.
Brian,
Sandley has
Establishing
Sandley
all
has the
facts
same
and
example
figures
on his
of what
videos.
you are presenting.
hey Brian, can I show you something?
It's in the chat.
No, Bob is going to show me his physical
It's in the
measurement
chat, you
of
twat.
curvature.
Maybe after Earth is live, StingRay want to say something.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Bob, show us your fucking measurements. Come on.
Let me show you. So you see the picture I
Boom.
posted in the chat, Brian? Are you looking in
Haven't
the
got
chat?
any, have you?
No.
You're a lying
Brian.
piece of shit, aren't you, Bob?
Brian, listen.
A lying
You see the
piece of
picture I posted in
deceiving
the chat?
shit.
Hey, Blue, should I take pity on him and go get it for him?
Fantasy.
No, I don't
They
think it's
would.
you're wasting your time, Bob. You're gonna waste your time. He's
I
gonna
know.
continue.
If you feel like wasting your
What do you
time,
want, Bob?
I'll
No,
just go ahead and
exactly
put
it.
it up just for shits and giggles.
yeah, so he can ignore it
On a
now.
video, I want your facts and figures.
What if
You
the
don't-
facts
I've
and
given
figures
them to
are
you,
in the
Brian.
video?
He doesn't
There you
understand
go.
facts and figures. He asked for facts and
He should
figures,
have
and he
kept
can't
them
do math.
collated somewhere. Let's see him doing a physical measurement of 8 inches per mile squared.
That's
Or
drop.
not.
That's not curve.
That's a parabola, you
Brian.
moron.
Hey Brian,
Brian,
check
can
this out.
Can I just ask Brian a quick question about this measurement stuff? Brian, if I asked you, Brian, just really quickly, if I asked you to measure, and please do it correctly, the height of the Burj Khalifa, how would you do it?
Wouldn't do it.
No, I'm saying if you had to, how would you do it?
Wouldn't do it.
I'm saying if you wanted to do it and you were hell-bent set on doing it, could you do it?
Wouldn't do it.
See,
Not my
that just tells you
question.
he don't. He
Not
doesn't care.
interested.
You do
the-
it. Yes
He
or
doesn't-
no?
He doesn't care.
All right,
about
sorry.
that.
Okay.
Don't give a fuck.
Okay.
I'm not making a claim that the Khalifa is so tall. You lot are. Now,
All right,
if
all right,
you
all right.
this
Let's
physical
say-
fucking curve, and
let's
you've got
say-
information, supply me with the
Big
fucking
Ben.
evidence of that happening.
Big Ben, Brian. How would you measure Big Ben, London's iconic
I
clock?
don't need to measure Big Ben. I'm not making.
How
any claims
would
about
you
Big Ben.
measure it if
Do
I
not
asked you
want
to? How
anything
would you
about
measure it
Big Ben.
if your life depended on it, Brian? How would you do it and give me the height?
I do not claim anything about Big Ben.
I'm not saying you do. I'm asking you a simple person-to-person
Whoever is
question.
claiming
If
how
your
tall
life
Big Ben
depended on it, how
you
would
should
you
go
give
and
me
measure it
the
yourself.
height of Big Ben?
He doesn't care.
I am not
doesn't know
making.
Oh,
any
don't ask
claim
him to do
about-
trig. All right, Brian, I put the weight changes by latitude video in the chat. Go look at it. There'll be a test.
He doesn't care.
Earth is live. You're up on
Where's
screen
your
right now.
facts
You want
and
to take a few minutes and
Where
tell
are
us what you got on
facts and
screen?
figures?
I
Where's
just
the
Hold on,
physical
Brian Mabbett. Mabbett, Live is presenting. Let's watch his screen share.
Hey, really quick, Brian. You see the picture the last picture that I posted in the chat with a boat, and then to the left of the boat, there's those two things sticking up out of the water. Let me see if I can get that on the screen. Do you see that in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay. You see those two buildings right here? Now those are actually these buildings right here. If you're looking at if you're watching my stream, right here.
Hold on.
Those buildings right there.
Hold on until they enlarge the picture.
Can you see it?
I mean, what you're presenting is like a street view of something.
Yeah, this is the street view. So these buildings, like this building here, and this building right here, are actually. If I can bring, let me see. I'm not sure if I can bring that picture up because I think I lost it.
You could just go to Discord.
Yeah, I want to thank all the audience. I want to officially apologize because my previous stream it was cut short because the PC had a restart and it just did it. It just restarted without asking me. It just went poof, and I lost the. I mean, the first stream is up, so I titled part 1, and I'm gonna let this one run another half an hour or so to wrap it up.
Anyway.
We got most of the audience, 40 people watching. So guys, this is a different stream. If you make sure that you already hit the like on this one, because it does help. This is a continuation of the other one. I'll mute myself. Go ahead.
So the picture I just posted in Discord right now. This is a picture from if anybody remembers BM Furball. This is a picture that he took when he was in Honolulu. I don't know if you're presenting this on it's on.
I'm presenting what you got on screen share. You know that's it.
Okay. So those are actually these buildings right here, which were taken from, if I exit screen view and you see if you zoom out, those buildings are over here, right? And those were actually taken all the way from over here. From here. Right? So that's how far away that was probably about 17, 18 miles. So if you see all the land that is actually missing, a lot of land, Brian. Let me see if I can get all the way back over there. All this land is missing from that picture. All this is an airport and all these buildings. And here are those buildings right here. So you tell me exactly how the water is blocking all this land to only show the top of these buildings. I'm done.
Show you now.
So Bob, you shared the link to that video that you mentioned, Brian, earlier. Bob demonstrated the rotation of the Earth on a video, Brian.
Yep, I sure did. And yes, I did share it because I decided to humor him. But let's see whether or not he actually looks at it, understands it, and can make an intelligent comment about it. I doubt it.
So the Earth's rotating, yeah?
Absolutely.
Does it rotate under everything?
Oh, really? Are we going?
Or leaves the surface?
Nope.
It doesn't?
Nope.
Does it rotate under a bullet?
Yes.
It does?
Yep.
So does it rotate under my drones?
I don't know. Are they moving across the surface?
Is your drone a projectile?
Difference between
is your
powered
drone
and
moving
unpowered
across
plane.
the surface, or is it hovering?
Does it move under a hot
All right,
air balloon?
Brian, stop talking and listen very carefully to what I just asked you. Is your drone moving across the surface or is it hovering? Yes or no?
It does both.
All right. Which one are you asking me the question about?
Either.
Okay. While hovering, no. While moving, yes.
So when it moves, the Earth starts moving underneath it. You fucking idiot.
No, the Coriolis starts taking effect when it's moving over the surface of the Earth. Yes.
So let's just set a scenario then. A plane takes
All right.
off.
No, Brian, you're going to review my video that I posted at your request and answer questions about it.
Of dirt to me.
Brian, didn't you ask him for evidence?
All right, Brian, time to man up. Go look at the video and ask me your questions about that video.
You are a lying piece of shit.
Brian, he brought you the evidence. You can go look
All right,
at it.
Brian, put up or shut up now. Time for you to put up or shut up. I brought you your video because you're too fucking lazy to go look at it. Now you go look at it in chat now.
I did not ask for a video. I asked for your fucking evidence.
The evidence is in the video, Brian.
No, it's not.
Absolutely.
It's a fucking video. Since when is
You
a
have
video?
no idea what's in the video because you haven't looked at it. And you weren't going to because you wanted to just waste time.
You haven't watched it, Brian. You haven't watched it.
Change when it goes through the atmosphere. When you've used a fucking auto level or a fucking a total station for hundreds of fucking miles, you fucking idiot. When the manufacturer.
There's no total station in the video, Brian.
Maximum.
There's no total station in the in the video, Brian. Watch the video before you talk. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Dog shit. That's all you are.
You're a child, Brian. You asked for something, I gave it to you, now you're not looking at it because you're afraid, Brian. You're a coward.
I'm not a coward.
Then go look at the video and tell me what you think of it because I think you're a coward and I don't think you're smart enough to figure out what's in the video.
There's nothing in the fucking video other than lies and fucking deception.
No,
and I know it is.
See, there,
Brian is
a great little child.
Do you even know what he's doing in the video?
Over 50 fucking miles, you complete fucking
All right, you're on mute, Brian.
You're a complete fucking moron. Put an auto level over fucking 30 or 40 miles when they're
I'm not going to listen to somebody call me a liar when I present.
That's not even what he's doing in the video.
50 feet. Not
Brian.
Not 30 or 40
You shouldn't
fucking
have to listen to that.
fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, he's just a damn coward. I gave him the information that he wanted. Now he's not looking at it and he's calling me a liar. I don't have to put up with that shit.
You are a liar.
Yeah,
I will call you out at every fucking opportunity.
Yeah, but you haven't.
Are a liar.
You haven't.
Brian, how did
demonstrated.
Irrelevant.
Brian, how did you learn so much? How did you become so smart?
Not smart. I've got common sense.
We know that. We know that.
All your common sense.
So common sense can solve everything?
I have told you and convinced you that a straight line fucking bends.
Brian, can common sense solve everything? Can you solve every problem with common sense?
You can solve every fucking problem with common sense. Everything is fucking solved with common sense.
So Brian, if you see the sun going down into the water, what does common sense tell you?
100% only lies fucking flat. Can maintain a curve. It's a complete load of nonsense.
Brian, if you see the sun go down into the water, appear to go into the water, what does common sense tell you?
I don't live on the fucking sun.
What does common sense tell you?
I'm not interested in the sun. I live here down on Earth.
You said you could solve a problem. You said you could solve any problem with common sense. So he just asked you.
The sun goes into the hole of the ground.
Does it go into the water? Does common sense say that the sun goes into the water?
Then you should be able to present the physical measurements of both your curvature and your fucking rotation. You've got
the sun goes in a hole in the ground.
There is no curvature. There is no fucking rotation.
Here we go.
You're living a fantasy.
Relax, Brian. You let it all out, Brian. Can we have a normal conversation now? Normal conversation now.
Nice.
It was painful for me when I fucking went through all this.
Yeah, but can we have? Can we do it now?
I don't know how it could have been painful because all you had was common sense. It's not like you actually lost any knowledge.
I know a straight line is straight, and I know water cannot form and maintain a fucking hump.
Brian,
I know that.
You're an Howard and adult, Brian.
Brian,
Just
how does an auto leveled at 11 feet hit the top of a 15-story building?
Oh, that's a good question.
What distance?
Look in the chat, Brian. 14 miles, 11 feet, 15-story building.
14 miles. Just have a look at the manufacturer's recommendations for your
and tell me exactly why they say you can't use it after that distance.
Yeah,
you can answer the question.
The atmosphere
distorts what you're looking at. It's a cop out.
Because after that distance, you have to take curvature into account.
Fucking lying thing about shooting over 30
you're lying, Brian.
No,
you're lying.
After that distance, you have to take curvature into account.
No, you don't. It is.
Yes, you do. It's called air.
Have you used an auto, Brian? Have you ever used an auto, Brian? Ever seen one up close? Touched one? Stood next to somebody that was using one?
Brian,
answer is fuck no.
It's enough, Brian. Brian, that's enough for today, brother. You gotta just now relax. No, you gotta relax, man. We gotta talk and let talk, bro.
I'd still like him to answer the question. How does he account for that line to hitting the roof of the 15-story building at 14 miles using common sense?
Common sense tells me that there's a curve.
Fucking tell you. Are you completely fucking stupid?
It's a simple question, Brian.
Your answer is
there it is again, Brian. There it is again.
The fucking auto level or whatever you're using.
No,
that's not what surveyors manuals
over
say.
150 feet.
It's the crosshair, Brian.
That's not what surveying manuals say.
Because
so are you telling me that all the surveying manuals are incorrect?
What you are looking at. Do railway tracks.
Also,
let me ask you,
in the surveying manual.
Railway tracks.
All right, Brian is gonna ask a question now. Let's see if Brian is gonna ask his question and then he's gonna shut the fuck up and allow others to answer. Brian, go ahead. Yeah, you're gonna shut the fuck up after you ask your question because I'm gonna mute you after you ask your question. And you are the cunt.
Do railway tracks ever come together?
You better mute yourself. No, hold on. Brian, I want to see you. There you go. Thank you. Now, guys, you can answer.
Yeah, the old railway track question again. Got it. Yes, they appear to come together. Got it. And what's your point?
I do have a question if you will allow me to ask it for Brian.
Please do it.
Brian, are you aware of the bendosity of light and the bendosity of liquid?
That's a great question. Waiting on your answer, Brian. How about that bendosity, Brian? Go ahead, man.
You told me to mute.
Yeah, now you were asked a question.
Apologies. Yeah, apologies. Like you were muted. Are you aware of the bendosity of light and the bendosity of liquid?
Are you saying light is bent through the atmosphere?
No, it's a scientific term, the bendosity of light and the bendosity of liquid.
Are you saying light bends as it comes through the atmosphere?
Are you not aware of the bendosity?
Yeah, you kind of asking you're kind of answering that question with a question, Brian. Maybe you want to answer and then ask your question.
I understand light is distorting what we look at. Just like the railway tracks look like they're coming together, but they don't.
Are you aware of the scientific term as relates to the bendosity of light and the bendosity of liquid?
Can you define bendosity, Brian? Are you aware of that?
You notice of him, he's a fucking asshole.
Come on, man.
Train tracks do not ever come together. Although when we look at them, they look like they're coming together.
Yeah, that
That
relates
is
to
the
my
same in the
my question though.
vertical.
That's the bendosity of light though.
It is exactly the same in the vertical. You are getting compression just like the railway tracks coming together.
Yeah, it's a bendosity of light.
When you look over miles and miles, what you see is not reality.
Yeah, it's a bendosity of light.
You can call it what the fuck you like if you want to call it bendosity. That's fine with me. It's a good word. I agree with you. And my throat's going. Shoot me, fucking Jose, for fuck's sake. You've got to get your heads around this. You really have. You prove it yourselves. You know light bends. You look 30, 40 mile and fucking say, why is that building looking lower? It is light.
Brian.
What you see is not reality.
Brian, if you look at this image that Peter G just posted on the Daily Boom Uncensored, train tracks do come together sometimes. How about that? What do you think about that?
And the train would derail, wouldn't it?
But they are coming together, right? Yes, thank you.
No, they're not. Else the train.
No, because the train gets really small as it goes away from you, Brian.
And you get the same effect.
Brian,
we are seeing horizontal here.
One more question. No, I really got a question. I've got a legit question. If I'm standing on a train track, right, and the railroad appear to converge in the distance, and I see this train going past me and going away. When the train appears really small, can I reach for it and grab it to put it on my table next to my squeaky earth? That's a legit question. Can you answer that, please?
Yes, you can. Of course you can, mate.
Thank you.
Put it on your model train set. Yeah, you Hornby or whatever you've got.
Thank you, sir.
You know this effect is true. You do see this happening, and it also happens in the vertical as well. This is why you think buildings start fucking disappearing. They are getting smaller.
Ryan, just really quick question for you. You just said it happens in the vertical as well, and I agree with you. It happens in the vertical, but if you zoom right in where the tracks go, whether they're horizontal or vertical, you'll see that when they come together, they also diverge in the distance. Right? They get further apart after that convergence. That's correct. Yes.
Uh-oh.
Get further apart. When have you ever seen train tracks going further away from each other?
In the distance, the train tracks diverge, right? That must be correct.
No, they converge.
So, yeah, but after that, then they diverge, right?
So I guess my neighbor does not like my Hellcat.
I live here.
If you move towards them.
Somebody lives there.
Okay. So
damn.
Wait a minute.
Moreno, no fighting over there. I mean, mute him.
You're getting your YouTube videos.
Steve Rodino is muted.
So Brian,
StingRay, you know
so
what
they
I'm
don't,
saying.
so they don't diverge. Then is what you're saying. After they converge in the distance, if you look further, they don't diverge, right?
Of course, they fucking don't.
Oh, right. Okay. So if I'm stood 6 foot above the waterline, and I look at a vessel and its hull 6 foot above the waterline, when it goes away, is there any reason why me still looking at that 6 foot would see the pilot house?
StingRay.
Yeah?
Do not see that. You are
we
seeing
absolutely see that across water, Brian, and that's called perspective convergence divergence on a flat
we are
Earth.
seeing the same with the train tracks
That's an oxymoron.
as you are seeing in the vertical. They are compressing into each other.
I gotta
simple.
I'm gonna debunk the globe now really quick for the globe proponents over here. Brian, listen to me. Listen to this, and it is gonna make sense, right? Okay. Thought experiment. There is a train track built from the North Pole near Russia, right? The North Pole down to Antarctica. It's a thought experiment, yeah. It's gonna be over water. A train track built from the North Pole to Antarctica on a globe. That should be like one half of the globe. One is going to be when the train, if we're in the North Pole, the train is going to be one way. In the South Pole, it's going to be the other way, opposite, right? Upside down, downside up. Now, if I take off from the North Pole and I start driving this train, how long do I need? How much do I have to drive this train down until I'm gonna either need a parachute or need some wings for my train, because it will start sliding down the globe, and then I might need some parachute so I can hop, so I can, just parachute my way down somewhere. It will go to space. Brian, are you following me? What do you think about that?
Yeah, very good.
What do you think, StingRay and guys?
Of course, at the equator, you'd have your nose.
So is it going to be
pressed up against the
StingRay's
screen?
model would probably predict it.
Right, StingRay, right. Wait. How much is the distance from over the surface of the Earth from the North Pole to the South Pole? Let's say, I don't know, 12,000 miles, right?
12,000. Yeah.
12,000 miles, right? So do you think 1,000 miles, 2,000, let's say, in 5 or 6,000 miles, the train will start sliding down? I'm going to need all the brakes that I need. And then I'm going to have to deploy the parachutes so the train, can hover down to the space, to the ether, and then nowhere. What do you guys think? The blow debunked.
Sounds good to me, man. Run with it.
I mean, I agree with you, Jose, except we've got gravity, and Brian keeps demonstrating that by showing buoyancy.
No, I do fucking not. Don't tell lies. You have not got gravity. You are not being pulled to this fucking Earth. Your weight is heavier than the fucking medium you are in. Change that and you will go upwards.
We've already agreed, Brian, that in those sealed containers, the medium doesn't alter the downward force of the gold.
You are weighing the medium, the gold, and the container. What the fuck do you think you're going to get?
No, I'm changing the medium the gold is in to see if it affects the weight of the gold, and the answer is no.
It will never affect the weight of the medium of the gold.
We are agreed on that, which means you've come to the conclusion that gravity is a volume-based force that acts throughout continuously in a downward fashion.
It is its proper name, which is gravitas, which means weight. That is all gravity is.
I mean, you're on board. Quite literally, on all your examples.
Depending on the medium it is in.
Quite literally, in all your examples and everything you've said, you're on board with gravity so far. You're just not accepting it.
I am not. There is no pulling force coming from the fucking Earth, none whatsoever.
What creates weight?
How have you verified that?
What creates weight is your mass. Molecules you are made of, the object is made of.
How is that a force?
If that piece of gold, let's just change the scenario. Change that piece of gold to a piece of wood. Put it in the water and see if it goes down to the bottom of the container. No, it wouldn't. It would go up. But your scales would still state the same weight as what the wood weighed when it was out of the water. It's transferred its weight to the water.
Brian, I'll get this share back up for the audience so that they can see, and I'll just ask you a very, very, very simple question.
Then are you telling me that I have to stop to screen share Peter Griffin with his own gravitational pull around his belly? Okay, I'll stop sharing that. I'll share you.
Family Guy is awesome. So I have got an egg in this as well, Brian, and I have got a block of wood, surprisingly enough. But let's just say this: if these scales with the gold in that have got water, oxygen, and a vacuum were devoid of the gold and zeroed out, is it fair? Listen to what I'm saying. I don't want a story. Just say yes or no. When they're all zeroed now, and I place the gold in there, all three of them will weigh the same. We're in agreement, correct?
Yes.
So this following statement must be true. The medium that surrounded the gold in all three circumstances made not a blind bit of toss to the downward force that we call weight, correct?
Incorrect.
Incorrect. So you realize those two statements that you said, even though came out of your mouth, are diametrically opposed, right?
Incorrect.
So
test. If you hold that piece of
gold, don't support the weight, Brian. Listen to what I'm saying. Please listen to what I'm saying. Sealed container, we're not supporting the weight. Sealed container, we're not supporting the weight.
You're just weighing fucking gold, you fucking idiot.
Right, brilliant. So the gold is actually surrounded by a different medium in each of these, correct?
Doesn't matter. It's heavier than
it doesn't. You're correct. I agree with you, Brian. 100% agree with you. We are so in agreement here. Almost there. So the medium that is in these containers, that is surrounding the gold, made not a blind bit of shit to the weight of the gold. Correct?
Incorrect.
So it's going to read different then. Correct?
No, because the medium picks
oh my God,
up
my job is done.
That it is supporting.
Brian. Peace.
Do you understand this? Medium will support some of the weight of the gold, especially in the case of water. You cannot get it into your head.
I think that's textbook projection.
I have done this test. I have hung an egg halfway in the water, and the scales showed it not a portion of the weight of the egg.
That's
only a portion of it, about 80% of the egg. Water took on the weight of the egg.
Do you want to know a fascinating thing, Brian? Here's a fascinating thing for you, Brian. The displacement of that is not proportional to the density of the volume that you inserted. It's relative to the displacement of the medium that you placed it in. How weird is that?
Change that gold to a piece of wood on the water.
I have asked you this before, haven't I? This ball question here.
Don't want to listen to that. It's complete and utter fucking nonsense.
So, which way does this blue marble go again?
It depends which way it's up and down. I don't want to fucking listen to that.
So, if you've got the density differences, why does it matter any other elements if that's all that makes it go up or down?
Because it's relevant to the medium it is in. I will not tell you this a fucking again.
Okay. Yes, you will. The medium it is in has got a density of 1. This has the blue marble has a density of 10. Which way does the blue marble go?
It will go to the lowest point.
To the lowest point? What does that mean? Because I thought it was density. The lowest density?
Point, because it is the heavier material.
Right.
How many fucking times do I have to tell you this?
So the density didn't make a difference then, right?
The density is the difference.
So the density is the same distance all around this. There is no direction that is greater than another in volume and distance. And you're telling me this says, fuck all of that, I'm going to go down anyway. Can you tell me why that is?
Yes. It has got a greater mass than the medium it is in.
That was not my question. We already established that.
Change the medium to a higher density medium. Ask me the same question.
Okay, so this is now a density of 10 and this is a density of 1. The same density exists equally in every single direction around this blue marble. Which direction would it go?
The opposite way to your fucking lunacy of thought of gravity. It will go up.
It will go up. Is there any reason why this blue marble chose to go up rather than, let's say, this way?
Because the medium it is in is more dense than it, so it will be displaced by the heavier, more dense material.
Equal distance, to the entire edge and equal volume of matter to every single edge. Why did it decide to go up?
Because the medium it is in is of a greater density, which wants to go down. So it will be displaced because it is of a lesser density.
So the density...
What to do with your fucking lunacy gravity?
Unfortunately, you're describing buoyancy there, Brian.
That's all we've got.
So it just magically decides to go up, even though any direction would have displaced the same amount of matter and volume and covered the same distance. Doesn't matter. It just thinks, fuck this, I'm off up.
We changed the medium. It's not random. We changed the medium.
Brian,
and the medium is more dense.
Do you want to reveal of another element that you forgot about? You ready? The mass of the Earth. And the mass of the Earth is that way. So it actually does this and that because the mass of the Earth is there.
No, it doesn't.
Well done, Brian.
No, it does not.
Goes towards the ground, Brian. Goes away from the ground, Brian. Mass of the Earth, Brian.
No, it does not. It goes the easiest route to its density level. Now, if that route is straight up, it will go straight up. However, if there is something stopping it at an angle, it will go at an angle to its density level.
Seems like something else is driving. Seems like something else is driving the direction.
Just like a river. Do you think what's a river doing? Is that flowing downwards or sidewards?
So it's almost.
I don't think he has a river here. He has a globe.
The river is sinking its density level.
So Brian, let me get this straight. So
it cannot go any further down. It goes sideways until it gets to its density level.
Yeah, so Brian. So it's almost like, if I look at this now, it's almost like that the fact that it's the same distance up, down, and side to side, that it says, I don't care about the density difference here, choosing a direction. I'm going to always choose up and always choose down because...
It picks the easiest route to its density level. Now, if it can go straight up, that is its easiest and quickest route. If there is something stopping it, it will stop. If there is nothing stopping it, it will carry on going up until it finds its density level or it finds something on a slope, and then it will go sideways to its density level. And rain falls downwards to it the easiest way, easiest route to its density level until it hits your roof. It can't go down anymore because the tiles are more dense than it. So now it has to go at 45 degrees or 30 degrees, whatever route.
But the atmosphere is less dense.
It will go
but
down.
The atmosphere is less dense above the raindrop. Why doesn't it float up?
Sits in the gutter, and the gutter is, say, at 5 degrees. It will go down at an angle at 5 degrees until it reaches the drain pipe, where the drain pipe's perfectly vertical, and it will go straight down to its density level.
Brian, but the atmosphere is less dense above the raindrop. Why doesn't it go up?
Because it is
less density.
It is denser than all of the medium it is in. It is more dense.
But it is less dense above the airdrop, above the water.
What?
Yeah, see, you can't common sense your way out of that one.
What? What was your question?
The atmosphere is less dense above the raindrop. Why doesn't it float up instead of go down?
Because it is more dense than what's underneath it, and it is looking for its density level. Now, if there is a tile,
then it would achieve it. Then it would achieve that so-called density level by going up. It would achieve that density level by going up because there is least resistance above it than there is below it.
It is more dense than the medium below it. It is looking for its density level.
How does it find
There's a reason it goes down.
It finds it when it finds its density level, and that's where it stays until you pick it up and fucking change it.
Right. But by what mechanism does it find its density level?
Common sense.
By what mechanism? Because its mass was greater than the mediums it was in. This is not difficult, lads. You can get your head around this.
I'm still lost. I'm not seeing how it's getting a direction. I mean, that's always seems to be a problem. It's going down.
When the raindrop hits your roof, it stops going vertical because the tiles are more dense than it. It doesn't just sit there, does it? It can go at a 45 degree angle now. That's its easiest way to get to its density level. And it drips off the last tile.
No, it isn't. It is less dense.
Which is only at 5 degrees. So now it's running slowly down your guttering because the plastic is probably more dense than it until it gets to your drain pipe, where the air in your drain pipe is a lot less dense than it, so it goes straight down again. It's so easy.
You're claiming density is the reason. It is less dense above it. Using your logic and your science, it should rise up and not go down. The path of least resistance is above it, not below it.
Okay. All right, let's do this as a thought experiment. We'll get the density column, and in the middle they show milk. So if we squirt milk on the top of it, we would expect it to go down through the top 2 or 3 layers, down to the milk in the middle layer. However, if we put a straw or a piece of pipe on the syringe and inject it into the bottom layer, which way is it going to travel then? I thought that might stop you.
I guess it depends.
It's going to go up because
if I'm in the vomit comet, if it's in the vomit comet, it'll go wherever I put it. It'll stay there.
We don't live in a vomit comet.
Don't have to live in things to actually observe them.
We don't live in a vomit comet.
Don't have to live in them to observe them.
We do not live.
You don't have to live in them to observe them.
What you experience in a vomit comet.
And you don't.
Fact
and
is,
you don't live in a density tower.
Yes, we do. This is where you're wrong.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
The air above is less dense. The atmosphere is less dense. Your whole argument is that it follows the path of least resistance.
It does. You know it does.
Brian, can you just
why does a river meander?
Here you go.
All different
Brian,
directions?
can you just click on my screen 2 seconds? Brian, just click on my screen 2 seconds. I'm doing a live chat here.
Oh, for fuck's
Watch
sake.
the screen, Brian.
Let me know when you're viewing it, Brian.
I'm gonna have to. I don't want to watch that. I do not live in a fucking.
I'm not saying you live in a plane, Brian. That'd be ridiculous. I don't think you survive long. So this here is a density tower inside a sealed container. The only thing that actually let me finish. So the only thing that changes here is due to the parabolic flight of the aircraft. It subtracts a force. And when we subtract the force, it just becomes a mess inside that density tower. Now, the thing that was arranging that density tower is now no longer there. Yet you'll see at the end of the flight, it will rearrange. Did we take out its ability to organize somehow?
Yes.
Interesting, huh?
You don't realise it. Yes, you did.
Wicked. I agree.
You understand how them vomit comets work?
I agree we took something away. Was it like an acceleration that we took away due to a opposing acceleration or a cancelling acceleration?
No.
Interesting, huh?
No, you did not. You did not take away down. What you are doing, the plane is accelerating faster than you can fall. And that gives you the appearance of free flight or weightlessness.
Gee, what do they call that?
You are just falling.
What do they call that?
You are just falling.
Jeez, I don't know. I forget what they call that.
And what the plane is accelerating downwards. That is all.
Is that zero density? Is that what they call it, or zero density?
I don't care what they call
zero
it.
Gravity. That's right.
There is
zero
no
gravity.
such thing as gravity. It becomes
zero
weightless.
Gravity.
Yes.
Well, actually, I got a question for you, Brian. Okay, you said that you're falling faster than you can than the objects you fall. Actually, that's not true. You're falling just as fast as the objects you fall. But if you fall faster than the objects can accelerate towards the ground, they'll actually invert the density tower and work the opposite direction.
You are all falling. What you're looking at are the inside of the tube of the aircraft. It's falling faster than you.
No, it's falling the same speed as you.
I would say it would have to go a little bit faster than you.
Now, if you go faster, then it inverts and it becomes negative gravity, negative G's. And your density tower and everything will reverse.
What is the vomit comet, Brian, supposed to mimic?
Weightlessness.
People puking. Oh, vomit don't have to do with anything with puke.
It's only a visual thing. It's only because you are inside that tube that's going the same speed as you downwards or a bit faster.
Yeah, but if you go faster, then the density tower reverses and it starts to assemble the wrong direction. Why is that?
No, it doesn't, because
yes, it does.
You are in free fall, in effect.
There's only one speed that it disorganizes. After that, it organizes again. Because it's a force counteraction.
More dense mediums would go as they can to their medium, their density layer.
Now, if I fly down at 18 meters per second squared, it's going to reverse the order of the fluids so that the densest one is on top.
18 meters per second squared.
18. Actually, closer to.
Where'd you get that figure from?
9.8. If you double it,
complete load of bollocks.
It's actually why air pilots, when they pull negative G's, go unconscious and stuff. Blood goes to their head.
What's that to do with falling? What's that to do with things falling?
Can I have 10 seconds over here? Because yes, I got a hit on PayPal, but I don't know who sent me this money. Big shout out if you sent me $12.89 on PayPal. Thank you so much. Please confirm it's you on YouTube. As for right now, you are anonymous for $12.89. There's a comment, and I quote: "Mabbett is a Poe, StingRay is a master." Mabbett is a Poe, StingRay is a master. Thank you so much, person who sent me $12.89.
He's only a master at deceiving people. That is all. That's what he's paid for. He's paid to do this. I would say he's been commissioned to do this.
How much am I paid to do this, Brian?
Okay, that was
every show you can get.
I got it.
I got it. Going through the same diatribe every fucking time.
I got it. That was Dennis Whalebone. 10 quid, dude. That was 10 quid by Dennis Whalebone, but he converted to $12.89. 10 quid. That's good, Dennis. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. Boom. I'm done now.
Hey, StingRay, I got a sphere to appear in Blender today.
Nice. The first step to shaking this bullshit is to build models and do predictions. And that all starts, if you want to end with the truth, that all starts with a sphere. So well done.
You have to build a model of what you live on. Surely you can pull it out your ass and prove it instantly. No, you can't.
That's called playing with shit, Brian. That's not what normal people do.
Curvature. Those are the two absolute fucking necessities to be living on a spinning ball. And there isn't any.
Yeah, but I asked you before, Brian, and you clearly wouldn't answer me, which is very, very weird. How would you measure the height of Big Ben?
Okay, I will answer you. I would get a fucking surveyor's tape and I would send some silly cunt up the top, hold it to the top, and I'd put it at the bottom. Then I'd get a physical measurement.
Okay. So what about if I told you you could measure something smaller to measure Big Ben? Would that ring true to you?
You can measure something smaller if you want.
So if I measured
the exact fucking height of the Big Ben,
it'd be accurate. It'd be optically accurate to, let's say, a pixel of my digital media.
Light bends. Now, in one stream you said light comes in straight and fucking parallel, and then you say it fucking bends in the next fucking mouth. Make your mind up. Either light's fucking straight and coming in parallel, or it fucking bends through the atmosphere.
It bends through the atmosphere.
And why tell us it's fucking straight?
Because the bend through the atmosphere in context to the discussion will be something like 0.0001 degree for all intents and purposes. It uniformly bends, which would make it parallel anyway.
Not fucking straight, is it?
It's funny. I put my father's life on the line for this measurement. I was dropping a tree, and he was pulling it with a tractor, and I wanted to know if the rope was long enough that the tree wouldn't hit him in the head as it came down. And I put in a little bit of extra tolerance in there, and it missed him by the exact amount that I had predicted of 10 feet.
Was it? Did you say your father-in-law, Ken?
No, my father.
Oh, right. That's why you got it right. Okay.
Well done.
But I went out there, I measured it, a little inclinometer, and I said, look at that. This is how tall it is. And then we dropped it, and it didn't fall on him.
Brilliant.
And I was confident in those numbers, although I did add some margin of error for being stupid. But
well done.
So if you want to know if you can drop a tree in your backyard without hitting your house, how would you measure that?
You can measure it 30 miles away, can you?
What's that?
You could measure it from 30 miles away.
You could.
You could. Fucking idiots, man.
Egg Earth on screen. If StingRay zoomed that out, it will show an egg shape. It will show the top of, look at that, the cone head character from the movies. The top of the head. Love it.
You've got to have this realization that what you've been fed is complete and utter fucking nonsense.
Right, but it doesn't seem to be. I mean, in practice, I was able to measure things from the ground
100%.
and get an accurate number from it. So it does seem like it's possible to do that.
100% you have been fed fucking nonsense.
So
there is
the Burj
no fucking rotation.
Brian, the Burj Khalifa.
Get where it's going if the very airport it's fucking aiming for is going away from it twice as fast as it's flying.
Ah, cool. It's not. That's the thing that it's not.
It's not.
No, it's not moving away from it. Everything's moving together.
So how is it doing that then? How can it fly at fucking 1,500 miles an hour if it only has got a maximum speed of 500 miles an hour?
Because just like my boat on a river, if I'm on a river that goes 30 miles an hour, it's really steep grade, and going down the rapids, my kayak, which can only go about 6 miles an hour with me going full bore, I can still do 30 mile an hour going down those rapids.
Okay, what if you turn around and go upstream?
I can go I can take 6 miles an hour off the speed.
Fucking lunacy, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think he can do 6 mile an hour in his fucking kayak either. Fucking prove it, Ken.
I will.
Absolute fucking lunacy.
That's actually like the world record performances.
Yeah. What if you tried to go across the stream?
No, you can't ever cross the streams. I've heard that somewhere.
It's fucking lunacy. And you've been fed complete nonsense.
The nonsense works in a predictive sense 100% of the time. So I'm just going to use it, Brian.
It is nonsense. No pilot adjusts for the fucking curvature.
No, really, they wouldn't need to, Brian, but it's really useful nonsense if it's 100% accurate all the time.
What do you mean they wouldn't fucking need to? Where they're going is moving.
We have
Well, what if I
computers,
took that-
you
that-
idiot.
What if I took that river? What if I took that river analogy and I put a bunch of like other kayaks on the river? Could I paddle upstream to the other kayaks and downstream to the other kayaks? If everybody was moving at the same speed?
You'd find it difficult going upstream, wouldn't you?
Nope. It'd be just as easy as paddling on a calm lake.
Think.
Because
No,
everybody's
Brian-
moving at the same speed.
Yeah, Brian, it's a really good example, Ken. Brian, all of the points that you're going to, let's say there's a floating piece of wood 10 meters behind you and a floating piece of wood 10 meters in front of you. You're in the middle and the whole stream's flowing. Is it easier to get to the one in front of you or the one behind you?
I would say it would be equally as easy to get to both of them.
Wait a minute, but if you start paddling to the one in front of you and you don't go faster than the stream's flowing, won't the one behind you just come past you?
If you slow yourself down.
No. So if I set off paddling to the one in front downstream and I do not paddle faster than the entire stream is going, isn't the one behind me going to come past me at the difference?
It'd hit you in the back of the head, I would imagine.
So you think that would happen?
Why wouldn't it, if you're not going as fast as the stream is flowing?
Because I'm still sat on the stream.
You're saying you're not paddling as fast as the stream is going.
I am saying I'm on the stream in a kayak, and now I'm going to paddle forward at 1 mile an hour. Now, because the stream is flowing at 10 miles per hour, isn't the piece of wood behind me going to come past me at 9 miles an hour?
When you say 1 mile an hour, is that relative to the speed of the stream?
I don't know, is it, if I'm on the stream?
You tell me what you
Well, I'm floating on the stream, let's say.
If the whole thing is moving,
yeah.
Let's just take like a walkway, a moving walkway.
Good example.
Sure.
2 people in front and behind you are doing exactly the same speed as you, but if you decide to walk forward, you would increase your momentum. What's it called? Conserved momentum. You would increase your conserved momentum. Go forward. We haven't got that. Wind goes all directions. Usually the opposite direction to what the Earth's supposed to be turning.
Well, that's where I would drop in a hypothetical with you. If you took a globe and put it inside a bucket of paint, like a big 5-gallon pail, and you connected that globe to a drill, would the air start to move with that that globe that you have stuck in the bucket?
I'm sorry, I didn't. You broke up halfway.
If you have a 5-gallon pail and a beach ball, and you connect that beach ball up to a drill and you start spinning it really fast, will the air start to spin inside that bucket?
Yes.
So the air does tend to try and keep up with the surface of the ball.
Yes. Would it ever go faster than the thing you're stirring it up with?
There might be eddies and stuff in there that'll go faster, but generally speaking, it's going to always have friction from the outside wall.
You have winds that outrun the speed of the Earth.
You could have, in that bucket, you could have some.
Still winds that go faster than what the Earth's turning.
In that bucket, you could have some.
It's fucking ridiculous, man. They have pickled your brains to believe this complete nut of nonsense. There is no spin. There is no curvature. We cannot be living on what they've told us. What it is, I do not know. It definitely is not what they've told us.
I love that demonstration, Earth is Life.
Why they've done it, there might well be good reasons for that. I'm not saying there isn't. It might be beyond our comprehension what we actually live on.
Or it's totally within our comprehension.
It's
Because
the
it all
best way
makes sense.
to get us to accept what we're seeing.
Or it's just all beyond your comprehension.
There's no, you've got no rotation, you've got no spin, you've got no curve.
Seasons.
So until you can prove them, you should really question what you've been told. Seasons have nothing to do with it.
Oh my God.
2 fundamental facts you need to live on a spinning ball is rotation and curvature.
Good, we got both of those measured.
Either. You haven't got either.
We got them both measured, dude.
No, you have not.
Sure you do.
Yes, we have.
No, you have not. And I will get it through your
Look,
head.
just because you choose not to accept it,
you have no.
Just because you choose not to accept it or understand it doesn't mean other people have not done it.
Prove it then. Show me your proof that the Earth's surface is moving at 15 degrees, which is 1,000 miles an hour at the equator surface speed. Show me that.
Sunsets, sunrises.
You'll say, I can't. Because
Sunsets,
there isn't any. That's
sunrises.
Nothing to do with the fucking sun. I'm talking about the Earth moving. You don't know what the sun is. You don't know whether the sun's moving or we're moving.
Do you know what the science of spectroscopy is?
I don't give a fuck about the scientist spectroscopy.
Of course you don't.
I want you to prove a measurement that states the Earth's surface is turning.
Brian, the last time you asked for proof, you ignored it. Yeah. So stop asking for it.
Exactly.
Nonsense. You offer up fucking nonsense.
You didn't even look at it, Brian. So stop asking for it.
You have no physical measurement of proof. You have ludicrous fucking pictures that you keep going to, and then you'll say, "Oh, the light keeps fucking bending and distorting things." Yet you're
Brian,
fucking looking at pictures because they look like they're fucking wanking off over them.
Okay,
Brian,
okay.
Brian, what do you have?
We're gonna start wrapping up. Big shout out to Dennis Wellbone. Thank you very much again for the support. I got a question, Brian. Do you know, because today is the 666 plus subscribers special? I heard some people are considered witches, and I've been called a witch. You know that by like people. They call me a witch. They say if you live in the whatever like 100 years ago, they will burn you on a stick. Have you heard of the term supernumerary? I think that's the term it is. Let me Google that. Can you Google that supernumerary? Google supernumerary.
When you do it, post it.
Okay, supernumerary. The definition, the meaning of supernumerary is exceeding the usual, stated, or prescribed number. How to use supernumerary in a sentence? Okay, I'm gonna give you an example of a supernumerary in a sentence. I have a supernumerary third nipple. A supernumerary nipple. Do you know that? Some people that have 3 nipples back in the day, they say they're considered witches. How about that? Yeah. So for those who don't know, and they were members of my previous channel, I am a witch with 3 nipples. I got a supernumerary nipple. Now, does that make me special? Not really. That's like 1 out of 10 people. Believe it or not, it's more common than usual. But you know what? Because I got the nipple, but I have a smaller one. I thought always it was a mole, but it's actually a very tiny nipple. So I got like 4 nipples on me. So don't look at the belly. So I'm watching on YouTube. If you see that, there actually is a nipple right there. You can see it. So that's my 3rd little nipple, and I got like a little mole over here somewhere, and that is considered also a tiny nipple. It is in the milk line, so you got this in the milk line. That is actually like shaped, and that is exactly a baby nipple right there. Boom! Jose JG is special with the 3 nipples. I am a superhuman. Thank you so much. And that was all for you, for the 666 subscriber special. For those who stuck around, you were able to witness the magnificent third nipple of the JG. Boom! We're going to have some final thoughts. Brian Mabbett, you're up first. How about that? Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate my third nipple.
I'm still watching your stream showing your nipple. Yeah.
That's good. Good stuff, right? How about that? Look at that. Don't watch on my baby belly. Don't watch on my belly. Look at that. It's a nipple. I'm watching the stream now, too. Yeah.
Hey, you look all right, mate. For your age.
For my age, for real, man. Hey. Big 47 coming soon, man.
There you go. Still alive.
Final thoughts, brother. Final thoughts.
Yeah, it is getting to the stage now where I'm finding it more difficult to discuss this topic with these people because I know who they are now. I know who just about all of you are. But for me, you know you're being paid to push this.
I am.
Don't you think?
You kind of are.
Wait, hold on. Try not to interrupt me, Brian.
Do you think there is a reason for them paying you to push this?
Well, Dennis Wellborn gave me 10 quids. He's NASA, he say. He gave me 10 quids.
And I don't know what they've told you. I don't know how they've got into your head, but I can assure you, you are just part of their deception. They have implemented you into this deception, whatever they pay you. It's quite obvious. I've monitored it all for months and months and months. I've seen the flip-floppers. I've seen them take big cash deals to flop, get super chats by the same person every fucking show, exactly virtually the same amount. It's so obvious. It's in your face. Now,
hold on, don't interrupt. No interruptions. No interruptions. It's final thoughts. One person speak.
I'm not saying that you do it deliberately. You believe in what the nonsense they've given you, but what you've got to ask yourself, why are they paying me to do this? That's what you've got to ask yourself as a human being. Why? They don't do it for any other fucking topic. Only this one. It's because they do not want this truth to get out. Water cannot form a curve and maintain that curve. It cannot. It's impossible. There is no measured spin. There is no measured curvature. You do not live on what you've been told. Easy as. What it is, I do not know.
We gotta go.
It is definitely not what they've told us.
I think
By
it's the
process
silliest.
of elimination, we can do away with the spinning globe model.
I think it's the dumbest thing that I have heard for all these years that people get paid to promote the globe and all of that shit. Nobody will pay to promote no fucking globe. StingRay is a professional. He make a lot of money on his job and has nothing to do with none of this. Why does he do this? To have a laugh, just like me and you. Why do I do this? Do I get paid? Well, if people give me money, I get paid. I'm just trying to have a YouTube channel for people to come in and hang out. I'm not pushing anything. I'm not promoting anything. I'm just having fun with all of you. And then people support me when they want, and they actually do send me a little bit of money. Doesn't mean that I'm getting paid, because I don't have an employer that gives me money and tell me, do you got to do this and that. I do my format. I do my shit. Google don't pay me. YouTube don't pay me. I work for, right now, this is Google and YouTube house, and I'm trying to make a few extra dollars, which I am doing, but I'm not hired by anybody. I'm not told to do anything specific. So, yeah, nobody's paying me. I don't think nobody's paying anybody here in the call. Now, I might be wrong, but as far as I know, anybody that have participated in these calls have never been paid by any agency to promote or push anything related to the shape of the Earth. That's my thoughts. Earth is life. Final thoughts.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you hear me? Hey, once again, good show, Jose. What I have to say for Brian, why continue to ask for evidence? Just going to deny it. No, all of us come here because I guess some of us probably think that we can somehow help you, but at some point we gotta just be like, yeah, there's no help because you're asking for evidence. Bring me the evidence. You deny it. Call us crazy. You call us indoctrinated. But all we ask for is something from you. Give us something that we can sink our teeth into when it comes to flat Earth. Some sort of measurement, some sort of map, something that works, something that matches reality. And it seems like no matter how many times we ask, you can't bring anything. But yet we're the ones bringing all the evidence, all the measurements, all the things that match reality. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Mojo Man, I cannot share your screen, but you want to give us your final thoughts now.
Oh, you can't share my screen? Okay. Then I have no final thoughts. I was banking on this.
Sorry. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Let's go with Grubus. Final thoughts.
Yeah, I just want to ask Brian if he actually frequents Nathan's channel, and how he feels about Nathan's channel. And that's Nathan Oakley, by the way.
What's that got to do with anything?
Thank you very much for your final thoughts. Appreciate it. I got some final thoughts by Gina Genesis on YouTube chat. Good to see you, Gina. Appreciate it. Gina Genesis says, and I quote, if you can't poo with ease, put your head between your knees. If you feel it comes too fast, stick your finger up your ass. Thank you very much. That was a fun one. Gina Genesis, shout out to you. That was great. Left Bro Lane, final thoughts. Thank you so much. You're probably busy over there. Steve Rorino, final thoughts.
No, thank you for the entertainment today. Brian always delivers. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mojok Man, give me count 5 seconds and I will share your screen for your final thoughts.
All right, hang on. Right now. That's it.
Is it?
My main question was, and if it doesn't show up on the channel, I'm showing a video of somebody pouring a drink of water while doing a barrel roll. They never change the angle of the picture. The water flows uphill, obviously towards the sky, towards the lesser medium, the less dense medium. And I was just wondering what the answer from the Flurf Daddy on density and buoyancy has to say about this.
Centrifugal forcity.
All right, and that being said, I want to thank everybody that was part of these festivities today. Thank you very much, everybody in YouTube land. Thank you very much, everybody over here on Discord. I really, really, really appreciate the support. Thank you for big support. Earth is Live and StingRay went crazy giving me money on PayPal. Thank you, guys. And there was a few more people that gave me a little bit of some love on PayPal. Thank you so much, everybody that supported that way. Thank you for liking, disliking. This show is being split in 2 parts. Make sure to watch the first part if this is the only one you caught. This is at the end of the title says number 2. The other one says number 1. Thank you very much, everybody. Jose JG saying out, but I have one more question, and if you want to hear the answer, you better watch the stream on YouTube. The question is there any evidence for the flat Earth? Boom.